Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. We are here for another episode of everyone's favorite place to be on a Wednesday morning. Where else would you rather be on the internet on a Wednesday morning, Brandon? But right here at Practice, the show. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of everyone's favorite place to be here on a Wednesday evening, Pitch Practice, the show. Brandon, are you there with me? Oh, Brandon, can you hear me? Oh, no, Brandon. Hey, Brandon. Well, my name is Mark. I'm the guy behind the Mental Marketer and the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101, helping I teach the newest art and science of funnel building to help content creators sell other people's stuff. And there's Brandon. He left to come back soon, hopefully, having a little bit of technical difficulties there, but let's give them about a second. If you're there watching in the audience, who are you here to see? Are you excited about tonight's episode? Are you excited about who we have coming on tonight? Give me a hashtag BarnumPT in the comments. Give me hashtag Barnum in the comments if you know who's coming on tonight. Or give me a hashtag down in the comments where you're watching from. And let's make sure while we're here, I'm gonna just wait to see if Brandon comes back, and so we can get him on. And then I'm just gonna check the socials here, make sure that we are good to go. Oh my goodness, that's right. We might not be live inside of the Facebook group right now, but we'll get it posted in there as soon as possible. We're going to give Brandon a couple minutes. How is everybody doing out there? We've got an exciting episode today. And today, if you've seen the previews that I've put out there on social media, tonight's episode, we're going to be bringing on none other than the creator and the developer of the BarnumPT family of apps. If you're not familiar with BarnumPT, then definitely stick around for this episode because you're going to get an inside look, a behind the scenes look, and we're going to dive deep into it. And you can ask questions. I think our guest is going to be ready to answer questions that you might have about the software, especially if you're using it. And if you haven't been using it and you don't know about it, then definitely tune in. It's an extension. It's a Chrome extension, right? I think it's a Chrome extension. So it's actually you go to the Chrome store and you actually download it, and of course it comes up as one of the little icons at the top of your Chrome browser that you can use while you're out there surfing the web. I use it a lot, and there's a lot of features that I like to use inside of it, from from transferring my funnels over to ClickFunnels, from ClickFunnels Classic over to the new ClickFunnels, creating these screen captures, doing swipe files, one of my favorite features, and I can't wait to get into that and just showing you how to get that done too. I think Brandon should be coming on here soon, but yeah, he's gone. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give Brandon a little bit of time. Maybe he had to reset his computer, but I'm not hearing from him. But we are going to get set up. And if you don't know, just a little bit more information about BarnumPT. It is your personal assistant located directly inside of your ClickFunnels account. And if you're not using it, it is sure to change the way that you use ClickFunnels forever. and some of the features that are available inside of it. Just just right off the top of my head, you saving pages. There's a new snippet option, color picker, image scrapers. It inspects the pages. It creates frameworks for you to actually funnel hack. Man, where has this BarnumPT been all my life? But okay, it looks like I'm just trying to talk to the air, and here we have pitch practice.
The show.
All right. All right.
I'm not gonna say it. I'll be nice this week and not frustrated with and not cuss, because there was a lot of cussing as you were talking. Just so you know,
there was
a lot of cussing.
But it's like I say, I'm not gonna say it. But the common denominator.
Yeah,
the common denominator. But
this app.
But
that's what it is.
Yeah, here we are. We're 6 minutes in, and I've introduced myself. So I'm Mark, the guy behind the Mental Marketer private Facebook group, Funnel Building 101. I teach the newest art and science of funnel building to help content creators sell other people's stuff. And
I'm Brandon, BKXX Enterprises, who absolutely hates Restream. I'm here to help you fix the digital plumbing issues that you have in your business and get your business found to fix those leaky pipes so you don't miss any deals. So welcome to the show.
Leaky pipes. What's up out there? Give us a hashtag where you're watching from. Give us a hashtag in the comments, and we're going to bring on our guest, none other than the creator and developer for our BarnumPT, Wynter Jones.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me on. That was a great intro. Like when you were talking about Barnum and you were talking to the air, I was like, no, keep talking to the air. I love the way you're talking about Barnum right now. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's your baby, right?
It is my baby. Yeah.
Oh man, so excited. I'm so glad that you decided to that you agreed to come on with us today, Wynter. I know that at least I've seen you around online from back in. I'm just gonna kind of go back to when the new ClickFunnels was first released, and there was a there was a rush for people to go out there and develop this software that allowed people to transfer their funnels from classic over to the new 2.0. That was I think that was a big deal back then, right? If you remember that time?
Oh yeah, it was. And like to me, and like the audience too, it was like, well, is it a no-brainer? Like people were signing up to 2.0 being like, where's the import button? Where do I import all of this stuff into? And they're like, oh, there is no import button. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, what? And then they're like, okay. And then it was like, it was a scramble because like a few people did do it. Like I'm not going to name their names, but yeah, they made that, they solved that problem. And then I was like, oh, cool. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, we could do this so much better because they solved the problem, but they didn't they didn't transfer the design all the way to what I wanted. So I was like, okay, let's do this my way on top of that. So I wasn't the first, that definitely wasn't, but hey, maybe second or third.
Nice. So before we dive deep into all of this stuff and geek out on designing and coding, let's for the audience out there, who is Wynter Jones? What's Wynter Jones's origin story? How did you've spent 20 plus years in developing apps and websites? Give us your backstory.
Okay, my name is Wynter Jones. I'm 36, going to be 37 this year. I'm actually if you want to go I've never really gone this deep. I'm actually born in 1988. That's I'm a twin. I'm 2 8s, 8 life path. On the 28th, there's a lot of 8s in my life. But anyway, so like if you go with that, and then I was born in a small town called Idle Lake in Ontario, Canada. Google that place. It's a mining town that once the mine shut down, the whole town shut down. So we were just left in the post mining town. So it was very, very small, less than 10,000 people. So my world of the computer was the outlet to the next town ultimately, because where I grew up for the first 16 years of my life was 100 kilometers. So you had to drive 30 kilometers up a road to get to the town. So 30 kilometers down, and then 200 kilometers this way, 200 kilometers this way. So you had to drive roughly 300 kilometers to get to the next town, that was actually where you could do see a Walmart. So I never saw a Walmart or any of these big things like that. Walmart was super fancy. Anyway, so middle of the forest, me, little man with my twin brother, get a computer when we're 12 years old. And the biggest difference between me and what I saw with other people was that we always viewed computers as a means to create. So we were always creating something. It was always video games, whatever it was. We were destroying the computer, fixing the computer. And then one day my brother came, we were finding all kinds of different things to do, making video games, board games. And then he got a contract with somebody, and we were 15 or 16, and we were doing little logos. So we didn't really consider that to be anyways, we get design work when we were doing inside of high school. But here, how it gets us into the internet marketing world is this one guy came up to my brother and he's like, "Hey, can you design me this sales?" But we didn't know what the words were for this. Hey, this web page, and on the web page it would be a VHS and a VHS player, and you take the thing and you'd stick it into there, and it would play an ad that said, "Hey, you stick your email as a cost per action thing, and you stick your email, and then you win a potential to win the TV or the whatever it was, right?" Mm-hmm. And then we would do these little things, and the whole time we thought, no one's winning this TV. No, you don't win these TVs. But then we asked them how does this work? And then they explained it to us, and that was the first glimpse into wait. Oh, we're doing stuff for clients, but they're the masterminds. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing your logo? Why are we doing your email? Why are we doing this? Because they're on the opposite side of that, going, "Hey, I need this for this. I need this for this." So we were slowly trying to piece that together. So I guess I'm going real deep here, and it will culminate at the end here. And then I want to ask you guys, do you guys remember your first OTO experience, your first one-time upsell experience on the internet?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
And what
on the internet or in real life?
No, on the internet, where you bought something and then the next screen was, "Don't close the red text. Stop. Don't close this screen. Read every word." And you're not prepared for this. You have no concept that you haven't received your order. Basically, this is going back to what butterfly marketing was for Mike Fulsame. So when we bought his, he was the first one that showed us what a one-time upsell was like. And me and my brother legit had to stop and walk away from the computer once we saw that screen, because it was we just put in $200 with a credit card. We're 18. And then it says, "Stop, don't." And we were we had to stop and think about it and go, are we going to get this purchase? How is this going to work out? So so we all of a sudden became super analytical about what was happening in the process, right? So we got the DVDs. Does anyone know the butterfly marketing course?
No,
Mike Fulsame?
Not familiar with that one.
Oh, I've not, but tell us.
It's amazing. So it's one of these OG courses that you'd buy, and it'd be a binder of DVDs. It would be super thick, and it'd come with 20 DVDs. So that's what we'd watch for maybe the next 2 or 3 years, was just these little seminars from Ryan Dice, Stephen Pierce, Michael Sam. That was our TV, so we were constantly doing that. Long story short, me and my brother got introduced to Russell Brunson, who is an amazing human being. And then at that time, we were building all kinds of little editors, right? So editor for this, editor for that. And then we were building something for another competitor, and then another competitor. And then Russell's like, "Hey, can you guys help us with our editor?" And we were like, "Oh, cool." So I was helping with ClickFunnels pre-editor, and it was purple. If you guys can remember ClickFunnels editor that was purple, that only existed for maybe 2 months.
Oh,
that
wow.
that existed, and I was doing templates for it, and then but the way we
Oh,
were doing
wow.
that was so weird. And then my brother had Pulse Editor, which was, and then that got turned into the ClickFunnels Classic editor that we have now, that got upgraded by me over the years. So the one that you see right now inside of ClickFunnels Classic is what I did, because my brother built it. Then I built on top of it for like the next like 3 years. So like basically there's some things that I'm going to point to in ClickFunnels Classic that Barnum answers. And
Oh,
yeah,
ooh.
so there's some fun thing. So ultimately, long story short, middle of nowhere, computer, ClickFunnels. That's my story.
Oh, I love it. I love it because your history is deep. Your history of funnel building and your history of experience with editors and working inside of what I think here's what I think. Your work has made what everybody else sees easy.
Thank
You
you.
agree? Huh?
I mean, that is beyond incredible. Like it took, let's say it took a long time for me to even get close to thinking like that, because we're just so close to the product and like doing everything we can. But to step back and be like, oh wait, I did help somebody. This did help somebody who wouldn't have gone into web design. I call it web design, but like getting a website, getting a funnel done, and then all of a sudden they do, and that's not the obstacle anymore. The obstacle is the marketing and the XYZ, and it's like, oh, cool. Like you're getting along the journey here, because ultimately, when we built ClickFunnels Classic, there's one goal for the editor, is to get you out of the editor as soon as possible. It's like we thought if you were in there for longer than an hour, we screwed up. Somewhere along the line, we didn't, but then people started liking it, and then they're like, I love it. I spend so much time. And you're like, oh, no, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be marketing these things. But yeah.
No, I've gotten lost into a build or two myself, but I can say with the new tech that's out now and what you've recently built was like a complete lifesaver. I got a fitness client. I got a fitness client that is, it's not a knock against her for what she is. She's a bit spastic, and when she wants to put something out, she wants it like now, right? And she's like, I just want to give this course away for free. I'm like, no, we have to sell stuff because I don't get paid unless you sell something. So I put an upsell on the free deal. So it's like free course upsell to one-on-one coaching. Like I had to come up with a page to sell the thing on the back end. And I was like, pretty sweet template. I like it. It'll fit. Put it in there. Had all the lorem ipsum text on it. I'm like looking at it dauntingly thinking, what the heck am I going to write? I don't have time. Like she is already pushed this thing live and people are coming to this thing and opting in and we're losing potential sales. So I clicked the little BarnumPT button. It gave me the pop-up. I said long form sales letter in this format, move from pain to pleasure, and explain the program for what it is. In a text box, hit go, and it rewrote the entire page in literally, I don't know, 5 minutes because I'd have the.
Yeah, it must have been a long page then.
It was a long page. And I say 5 minutes because I.
But yeah, no, it does take a considerable amount of time because it is doing like it's a bunch of tech, but it is doing a bunch.
Worked, and I have the GPT API hooked up, which I feel pumped and proud that I managed to figure that
nice
out and get it to work after, I don't know, being on it for like a year now, never figuring out how to hook APIs up to it before. But anyway, that made it super simple and easy, and it came up with some, I guess, decent copy in the sense that it flowed and made a little bit of sense. I probably do need to go in there and humanize it a little bit. But it did what it needed to do. And,
yeah, like it is a good disclaimer to say, like right now, it's the equivalent of asking ChatGPT with no context, like with very little context. Hey, write me a sales page, right? Like you're gonna get that ChatGPT sales page out of it, right? And then and I think the rewriting is the best feature because if you give you can do certain things up to the page because it will read the page and try to infer a little bit. But yeah, like there is something coming up, and like it's well, I've showed a lot of people, and we're live in the BarnumPT group here, and so if you guys send me a DM if you haven't for the new thing that's coming up. But I'll give you a hint, and this one solves the copywriting problem. And this is so there's parts of BarnumPT that's me and my ideas, and then there's parts that are Russell's. And then this is a Russell idea where I like it's like I don't know how much I could say. Like, okay, well, I could explain the process actually. So what we do in this new part of BarnumPT that's coming up in the next one is we first ask you for your voice, your offer, and your avatar, and then a brilliant thing that we do is we let you brain dump it. So you just so you can type it out or talk it out, and then you brain dump. And brilliant idea from Russell. And then you take that brain dump and you answer a whole bunch of questions automatically or on the fly, or like we have a process, and then you generate really hyper specific copy for what you need, because then it goes through this process of like, and then it's a natural process. Like I kept doing it very technical, and I was like, oh, it's just not like it's not flowing. And then Russell's like, yo, brain dump, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, he's so smart. Russell's so smart. But yeah,
One thing that I can say though about at least my GPT is it's heavily seasoned based on the prompts that I put in there. And so since I've been working with it and have my own quote unquote Dan Kennedy GPT plus like
nice.
her I created a GPT for this person itself, for my client itself, based on her story and things like that, and told it how to write and her voice and things like that, so it knows her story too. So I'm hoping the API is pulling from that as well, because they're all my GPTs,
right,
my account. So it did help. So it wasn't just coming in blind. So that's something to note too when you're using ChatGPT and use it for a long time. It stores and remembers all of your prompts, so you can season it in a sense of, it knows how to respond in the appropriate tone of voice. If you're writing copy for sales, or if you're just writing a letter or something like that, it will eventually humanize and learn. But it does take a long time, over a year.
You can train the GPT.
Yeah. Just by interacting with it, right? But it takes a long time.
Yeah, but so my question, I know that BarnumPT does have the AI, the AI feature in it, but to me, I think that BarnumPT is just much more than just the AI.
It is, yeah. And that's like it's strategic because well, I guess it goes back to the Russell being a genius. So like I initially pitched him on one part of this idea. It's like, oh, what if we gave something that was so over delivering that it's just like, oh, you could just install it and it does so many things, and that what do you get out of this? Oh, you get a Trojan horse so that you can advertise to it. We can call it a Trojan horse. And what is it? Then like what's the Trojan horse? Oh, you get a Russell ad. That's what's coming in with the horse is just a Russell ad. And he's like, what if we did that for the affiliates? And how do you so smart about these things? Like, so he basically took like what was beneficial to him and gave it to the affiliates. And then the affiliates get that same concept and pass it along. And he did the same thing with this new thing. So I'm just a little bit gushing over Russell, but yes, I can show you a big demo if you guys want.
I was wondering, because now you reveal that, I guess I was wondering how did you come up with this idea of BarnumPT, or was this a combination of you and Russell, and that's how this idea came about?
Okay, so very good question. So I guess I'll catch everybody up. So we'll go. We met Russell, me and my brother, and then we started working on ClickFunnels, and then my brother, if you go open the first book from Russell, well, my brother was a co-founder of ClickFunnels. So we worked with it. So I worked, but he owned ClickFunnels, and then he sold his portion and left, and then I went with my brother, right? And then we did that in 2017 or something. So basically, we were out of ClickFunnels for like 4 or 5 years. And then when ClickFunnels 2.0 came back in, then I was like the biggest fan. I'm like, oh. And then the Geek Out group, which are like, Susan, Dan Havey, and Andrea Peer, like these guys, they're amazing people. So I was like, we were like religiously watching them tell us about ClickFunnels 2.0. Like I would do I know some people who are best friends who work for ClickFunnels, and they would come to my house once in a while, and they would open up their laptop, and then they'd be talking, and I'd be like listening, being like, "Oh, what's this?" Like, because I'm trying to figure out what's coming.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm as part of the audience too, but I'm trying to sneak a little peek, but at the same time, not too much of a peek, because I want to be excited too, just like everyone else is. And then 2.0 came, everyone was very excited. You could see the market was going up and down in terms of like their opinion on it. And then I was like, okay, well, I love ClickFunnels. I'm a part of it. Maybe after all we've been through, maybe I can come in and do something. And then I asked Russell, and he was like, yeah, of course. And then they like hired me the next week. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, you guys are so nice to me. Yeah. Yeah. So I got to work on ClickFunnels 2.0. So the dashboard that you'll see, well, it's not there anymore, but the flow inside ClickFunnels 2.0 where it says pick your funnel and it has all those little boxes and whatever. I did that. So me and Russell worked together on that. So, and then a few things that I did with the editor, nothing too big. One thing that I was doing with ClickFunnels 2.0 was going through the Uncanny. They still have it, but that feedback board. I would go through that religiously and just try and find out all the best ideas that the audience was coming up with. And some was amazing. Like one was like some of them are so obvious that you just don't even see until someone tells you. Like the colors. So we did blue, orange, green, blue, yellow. So that everyone can define these things. But then what is a column? And we're like, whatever, column's gray. Like it's kind of just in the background. And someone's like, hey, why don't you make it like dark? Like, why don't you make it stand out? Like, and then it was like, oh yeah. And then we made it stand. I was like, this is obvious. Like, so that's like really what you look at ClickFunnels 2.0 right now. It really is a culmination of what the community is saying. Like, there's a lot of things we want to be there, but there's like a balance. But it really, when you look at what's there, it's like, oh, actually, like this guy said that, and this guy said that, and this guy said that, and all these ideas all came together through the synthesis of the development team. So, and now being a little bit more frank about this, you could imagine now ClickFunnels startup, us guys, like maybe like 10 people all, and everyone who's all doing ClickFunnels at that time has full authority to do what they want to do, right? Like we tell each other, but we just do the thing and we just keep rolling, right? Whereas now it's so big that the authority for an individual to go out and just do something, it has to have a bigger team and a bigger team and a bigger team, right? So it's just a natural thing for big companies. So it's a big company. So that's where I started to rub head, like, started to be like, okay, I'm not grooving, like we used to run so fast and now we're running like a mile a minute, and like, and it was starting to get on like
the bureaucracy.
Yeah. Just like it, like let's talk about the problem more than let's solve the problem. But that just needs to happen. Like that's just big company politics, right? Like that's just it. Imagine working at Shopify now, like, like change the homepage. I dare you. No one's going to let you. Like,
it's got to go through several levels of management and approval.
100%. So, and like that's to protect the brand and all this stuff. And like if we look at like so just to say all of that is to say, okay, I took an absent. I was like, you guys are amazing. It was 8 months. I am gonna find something else to do because it's finding no joy in what I was doing at that moment. But of course I still love ClickFunnels, and then I started doing I did the transfer tool, stopped it, did the ClickFunnels, then decided, okay, it's a little bit too much for me. Then I was like, but the whole time, and I'm getting back to how I pitched this to Russell, because the whole time I'm pitching every idea to Todd. Like, hey, Todd, I thought of this. Hey, Todd, have you thought of this? Hey, Todd, like literally, that's just, I like to come up with ideas and then put it in their brain, and hopefully one day it comes out. And then I kept saying, like, did you guys know that like ClickFunnels 2.0 editor is prime for AI? Like it's like everything you guys have been doing, and then you add AI is just like, wow, it's made for each other. What's going on here? And then I kept trying it, and then I was like, and then we did the funnel race with the ClickFunnels ambassadors.
Yes.
Yeah. So I kept thinking, I'm gonna cheat at this. I'm gonna find a way to cheat, because it's like, how can we do it? And Danny kept winning. Like he's just like every time, and he's the host. It's like, how are you able to host this and have a better funnel than us, better copywriting than us, and you're going and making real leads and real sales like after the call? Like, how are you doing this? So I was like, I'm gonna win. So I thought, what if I built an AI, like just ask it to do everything for me? And then I kind of got like a prototype of that where it would click around, and I went overboard and tried to do blogs and like do everything. And then I was like, oh my God, what if? And then I started to pitch the idea to Russell. And here's why all this story is worth listening to for yourself or the audience. Is so you're going to pitch an idea that you're very, very, very excited about, and you think the other person could be very, very excited about it too. But you have to break through, because I've already told Russell 100 ideas, like 1,000 ideas at this point. But I knew I wanted to break through with this one, right? So what I did is I made a presentation, but I knew in the first 30 seconds I needed to get his attention, like, Nick, stop and watch it. So what I did is I used his favorite song and used like the first 30 seconds just on things that he liked. Then almost nothing to do with the idea at all. And then was the thing, right? So like, that's my advice to anybody. If you're pitching to somebody who you're like nervous about, like, because Russell's amazing, but like you can still get nervous, and it's like, how do you do that? So, you find the thing that even if it all goes bad, you can at least go like, that was kind of fun. Thank you for that fun little moment you sent me, But
yes.
but yeah, he loved it, and then but he loved the it doing the things for you, where you when it makes the funnel for you, it clicks around and it does all of this stuff for you, and like the autonomy of that. But yeah, I could keep on rambling all day.
So that's the idea of BarnumPT. So that's where the idea came from. Building the BarnumPT was basically, I love how you explain that. And that's just, for those out there listening, you're dropping some golden nuggets here, Wynter.
Thank you.
You were going into the actual feedback loop from people that were using the software. And you were going in there and you were asking questions, well, not asking questions, but you saw what people were asking for. And your goal was to say, okay, I see people are in here asking for this. Let me see how I can make this better. And what's happened is, you said it, that what it's become is a combination of, you said you had to balance, what the software can do and what everyone wants. And I think that's what's separating ClickFunnels, and that's what makes, as the intro, as the Chiron says, your funnel building superpower. What BarnumPT is. That's and I think that we've got someone in the audience that agrees with us.
Woo-woo. Thank you very much, James.
James, he says BarnumPT is lit, one of a kind. It's like a superpower just using it. It is, and I think that's unique to the ClickFunnels software too. But I don't know, because I think you also do it for one of the competitors too.
We take from one of the competitors. I don't know. I don't know. Quid pro quo.
I think Brandon and I have both experienced trying to go to a page and trying to copy it and then getting that message at the top, right, Brandon?
Yeah, I tried to copy the ClickFunnels homepage. I'm not gonna lie.
Can we do something about that?
That's funny.
I just wanted to see how they coded some of the stuff on there.
100%. A lot of it is custom coded because it is so very nice. I love the new rebrand and all of that fun stuff. So even if it did work, but yeah, a lot of we've got that at the beginning. A lot of like support tickets, like, hey, it doesn't work, and then you're like, that's Russell's page, and it's 2.0, but also it's Russell's page. Like, you could have at least acted like it was like, it's like, and that's Jenna Kutch's page. Like, you're not them. Like, we just know you don't have permission. Like, you're gonna get to it. But
any way we could get that bypassed?
Well, it would be technically. I thought about it. I'm like, it would be way easier to migrate a ClickFunnels 2.0 page to a ClickFunnels 2.0 page. Oh, that would be so easy. And then I'm like, but no, that's. I don't think anyone would really be happy with me to do that. I'm like, all of a sudden.
So we can't copy other people's pages is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, unless it's go high level. I'm gonna go nuts. No, I'm just kidding.
Unless it says why don't you reach out to the owner and ask for a share link, right? I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
that.
Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly. If there was no share link, then well, hey, it's a free world copy. But there's a share link. There's a valid way to do this, and they have frameworks now. One thing that's interesting, just to show the shift, because like, well, think about this actually. Is a funnel hacker an agency? A funnel builder are they almost like they're almost like a contractor? You know, like
Call them contractor, freelance. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
the reason why I say that is because like here's a question, because we saw Go High Level rising up, right? We saw a lot of these things rising up, but like, you know, you can't predict what's going to do it. But Go High Level did something completely different, and which is the way they were going after the audience and just going after the agencies. And then, but here's one question that came to me that where I couldn't, it just wasn't so, it was so not obvious to me. Okay, so you have a share link in ClickFunnels, and this ClickFunnels Classic, we'll just do ClickFunnels Classic because in 2.0 I think it does this, I'm not sure, but either way, you give a share link to somebody, it copies their to account, and that's that. You know, done. It's theirs, it's been transferred, that's that. And then with agencies, they're like, no, I give it to you. If you stop paying the retainer, you can't use it anymore. And then, like, you know, like there's like this, like, it's not, there's a tether still back to them. And I was like, I never thought about that once. Like that whole concept. I just, when someone first asked me, I was like, well, why would you want to do that? And then they explained to it, and then I was like, oh, agencies. Oh, it's a different word for the same thing. Oh, you know, and then and I think that's where we're with 2.0 is like, that's why we have all the opportunities and like all the things that are a part of it, because it's like, oh, really the same audience, just different label and a different desire, but actually same everything, same, right? So I don't know. I think it just showed the like evolution of our minds, because we're all funnel, and then agency plus funnel is like, whoa, where are we now? Like, you know, now they have AI agents. That's wow. It's a wild world.
Nice. I've got a ton of questions. I want, and also we want to, yeah, we definitely stick around, because we want to get into you know, share some screens, show us some of the magic that is BarnumPT. But let me ask you something. Are you a marketer?
Before, yes, like when I first started, like, so I started as like a web designer, and then once we started doing the internet marketing thing, before ClickFunnels, I would be selling PLR WordPress plugins. So I would I could tell you real quick how I did that. So then this is probably, I don't know if you can replicate this, but it's the same thing as, so back in the day we'd have forum marketers, forums, Warrior Forum, Digital Point, and Site Point, and there was a few other ones, Black Hat World, if you want to be crazy. But you go, yeah, exactly. Our products would end up on there, and I would like high five myself and be like, "Hey, they wanted to steal from me. This is cool, but don't do that. But still, thank you for putting me in that group." But so I would sell these. So what we did is on the forums, I would sell WordPress themes and sell them one off, and it's the same thing again, where it's like I was making WordPress themes, selling them to one owner, and then one day I decide, hey, why are you buying these themes? And then they're like, oh, I go and put them on my marketplace and I sell them for $30 over and over and over again. I'm like, I sold it for you for $500. Like, you're killing it. And then so you start to learn by just doing these things. But what we did is with Warrior Forum, which was a internet marketing forum, we would do the a bunch of them. But what we started to realize is that you could, like, everyone was doing their structure a bit differently. Like the front end's this and the back end's this or whatever, right? But what we started to realize is like, wait a minute, all the affiliates are going to promote the front end, right? Nobody promotes the back end unless like you're asking them to. So you say, okay, well, I'm going to do a low cost 100% affiliate upfront. So it's $7, 100% affiliate. So go ahead, promote it. It's free money. It's all you. And then the upsell is 50%, and that's like $47, right? So now what I get out of it, I get $27 per sale. But what that wasn't what we were about. That was just that was gravy money. But what we took all that, so we had like maybe like 5,000 to 10,000 people who were all buyers, and then I used that list to email for the next 5 years, and just would make a product, send to that email list, make a product, send to that email list. And that's how I'd pay my rent and do that for like, so I was more marketer, product creator. Like I had to market to sell the product, but then I stopped. Like I lived off of that list for quite a while. and then ClickFunnels came
Nice.
around and stuff. So yeah.
Nice. What a lesson out there for all those listening about what we always talking about is your email list. You're growing that list. And here, Wynter has grown his email list, and he's basically lived off of that email list just by sending an email out, just by creating a product and then keep growing that list, creating a product and putting offers in front of them. Man, you are just you're just a treasure trove of experience and information. And you were doing it in Warrior Forum days. You know what Warrior Forum is, right, Brandon?
I've never heard of it. I didn't.
Oh my God!
I didn't get into the online world. No,
it's like an affiliate marketplace, right? Go ahead.
I didn't get into the online world until 2020. Really, I mean, I was selling physical products, cars, and insurance. It wasn't until the pandemic happened that I, dove into it. And Wynter, you asked, the time before, when did you, first notice your OTO? And that was when I got the Closer Survival Guide from Grant Cardone. So it was, the free plus shipping book. And it said, wait, your order's not done. Sign up for this mastermind. And I don't know. I don't think it was free. I think it was paid. But I bought that, and then it was another upsell to go to GrowthCon. So, that was my first.
You bought both?
Yeah. So I bought this like 6 weeks mastermind deal, and then during the mastermind, he sold the ticket to GrowthCon, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to GrowthCon, and that's all true. Then I found Russell after that, and did his deal, Traffic Secrets, One Funnel Away, ClickFunnels, and then Funnel Hacking Live 4 times. So
that's freaking amazing. So that is the most internet marketing way to get into this. It's like I went through a funnel, and then next thing you know, I'm at an event. Next thing you know, I'm introduced to another person. Next thing you know, I'm through another funnel, a better funnel maybe.
Well, Russell did pull me out of the Cardone world. Not that I don't like what Cardone's doing.
I think they're both dope. They're just different flavors of the same.
Absolutely.
But another thing. So when I had this email list, right? Here's another little tidbit is that I spotted, and I felt like it was a hack, and then I grew to dislike it. I grew to think that I was not good. But then I see other people do it and go, wait a minute, what was I thinking? There's 2 lessons here. So if I have an email list of like 5,000, 10,000 people, but let's say 5,000 people, and I remember like maybe 2,000 would open, 700, and then like maybe 200, 300 people would buy and whatever, right? Or like, and then sometimes it would be less. But anyway, there was like a percentage that I could almost guarantee. But what was I selling them? I'd make a WordPress plugin that would do like a email thing or whatever cool thing, but I wasn't selling them the software. I was selling them the opportunity to sell the software. So, hey guys, I have this new thing. It does this. Awesome. You can buy it right now with PLR rights, and you can go sell it to your list. Sorry for coughing, but that's if you want to sell to marketers, sell the opportunity. Don't sell the thing.
That was
wow. That. And then
that was a bomb.
But yeah, legit. I felt. The reason why I felt like I have to cough. Sorry. I'm sorry. The reason why I felt bad about it was because people would buy my product and then go make 30 grand. And then someone would come back and say, hey, they're selling master resale rights to your product in the back end of their thing and blah, 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 blah. And I'm supposed to go be the strong arm and tell them to stop doing that. And then I'm like, you're sold it. You're done. I can't do anything about that. And then it started to get to the point where I felt like the service that I was doing, like I started being like, my clients are going to be richer than me, because as long as they're richer than me, then I can always ask them for money because they are making money. But then that flipped to being like, they're making more money than me. This is not fun. This sucks. And then all the good faith and all the service that I was doing turned on a dime. And then I started being like, no, PLR is bad. Don't ever do PLR. Like, why would you ever sell your soul down the river like that? Like, why would anyone do that? And then I like meet like amazing people like Paul Counts who like do the PLR. I'm like, man, what? Like, this is so good. Like, why? What turned in my brain that made me start to think like that? And then how this gets back to another piece of advice. So at Funnel Hacking Live this year, we had so many 16-year-olds. I was blown away. Like so many young people. I don't know if they're all 16, but the point is they were like young. And and one of them, I wouldn't have noticed this until someone like introduced me to this, what was happening. Then he's like, hey, we're part of the young teenagers group here. Do you have any advice for someone who's like 16? I was like, well, I've been doing this since I was 14. So like, I do actually. And then my brain went straight back to the PLR. My brain was like, oh yeah, you idiot, man. Like if I went straight back to going to old Wynter and being like, the problems you solve today are the same problems you're going to solve in 10 years from now and 30 years from now. Because for some, like, if you think that today, oh, tomorrow's market's going to change and it's going to, like, that's what now everyone with the AI, we like, it's hard to like dismiss this and be like, we don't know. It's like, man, 10, 15 years ago, we thought the same thing. Like we thought maybe WordPress is going to go away any day now. Like, you know, like it ain't going
They are
nowhere.
getting sued.
What's that?
I said they are getting sued.
Oh yeah,
By
but that's
WP.
Matt Mullenweg's problem.
I think it's WP Engine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, what a
That's-
guy. But
That's
yeah.
interesting. You're talking like a vet over there, Wynter.
Yeah, well, I'm with the vets, you know, it's awesome. Yeah. So like fucking sorry, I swore. But yeah, ultimately it is because like if we deduce that into what does that mean is like you're solving time or lead sales and relationships. There's but people, process, profit. So but you solve one of those things. So like every product I sold was like, is it getting you leads, is it getting you sales, or is it saving you time? Like it's like, and is the opportunity transferable? So reduce it to that.
That's the marketing Wynter right there. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's not just, it's interesting because you're great, you creating products, you're a creator, but then you do have that marketing knowledge, that marketing instinct, and that's important. I don't think that you can have, I don't know. Do you think that with Todd and Russell, for example, and you know how Todd is more of the developer, and also Russell always teaches that you know, you need to have one that's the you know, the coder, the developer, and then you have to have another that's the attractive character. You know, someone that can get out there, and as Russell likes to call himself, the dancing monkey, right?
Yeah. And
what do you think about that? That whole you know, that whole kind of someone that can actually get the work done and is into it, and then the other one that's more of the face.
I
For you,
100% agree with that, and like I like deduce it to like you need like a technical founder, a design founder, the marketing, and then an accountant. So like really, when you think about it, it's like okay, Todd, Russell. Like, there was a few other people, but we'll just say Todd, Russell, and then there's Jake was the designer. But who cares about design right now? Oh, by the way, do you guys even know who did the logo and who brought that forward? Dan Usher. Like big props to Dan Usher, who brought the new redesign forward on ClickFunnels.
that was it. That was the new one.
Yeah, like, and Dan Usher, if you guys don't know who he is, he did all the videos for like ClickFunnels, like the funnel hacking live. So like I know it's a tangent, but from the guy who's like filming all of this stuff and then seeing it all evolve, and then him to be like, you know what, it needs to look like this now. And then and he was right, and it's just like, oh, you're like, that was amazing.
you like the redesign.
Oh, I love it. Like it's unreal, like how like good they did that. Man, I'm such a tangent guy that I forgot what your real question was. Or what I was talking about.
No, it was about one person on the marketing side and one in the technical side.
So the unsung hero here is it's easy to say Russell and Todd, but yes, the real unsung hero is John Parks. Because he's the
John Parks?
Yes, John Parks. He's the one who does all the ads. And then we have Brent Copetiers. These are the people who are like who allow Russell and Todd to go and like we have a concept of a green field. And hopefully everyone who's working on the internet feels like they have a green field in front of them. Like, or is it like everything's defined for you and you're just trying to find your patch of green field? But like as long as like Russell can go, this is all to I can do whatever I want in this field, and I have the team to support me, and then Todd can do the same thing. But who allows them to do that, right? It's the people who are like, hey, I know every single number, I know how much we're spending on ads, like you want to do that? Boom, we're doing that, and this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Like one time, like Russell, I went to his office multiple times. One time, this is when I saw the power of an assistant. Go to the office, tires broken or whatever, see it. A few hours later, come outside, the tire's fixed. I'm like, how did the tire get fixed? He's like, yeah, my assistant went out and fixed the tire. I was like, yeah, of course. But you have to experience to see and ask, and then you start to go, wait, like, yeah, there is efficient ways to do these things. But yeah, man, we've done it almost an hour and I haven't shown anything. You guys rock.
No, it's almost 50 minutes. I know. I'm like, okay. All right.
I tried to share a screen at least for like creating a funnel on the fly. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
I can't.
I hadn't seen it. Let's get we gotta show. Let's show what we want to see is a transfer of a funnel from classic to new ClickFunnels using BarnumPT.
Okay, we can do that. I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna log into some things here, and hopefully everything.
Yeah, I'm all locked up on my side. I can't do anything
because there's been some updates, and I think that's one of the features that most people are really excited about inside of BarnumPT. They may not even know some of the other features that are available there.
There's so many features that even when we try to do like support with the team, and I'll like describe what's going on with it and like go through it all, and like most times they're like, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that existed. It's like, yeah, there's a lot. In fact, like I almost think like, how do I start cutting it out? I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to add. No, just kidding. But okay, I'm kind of set up here. I think we're gonna do my screen. So we'll do screen one. Hopefully everything doesn't kick me off.
I got it.
Okay.
See it. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm just gonna go to maybe a better design here. And like, yeah, a lot of things have. So could we see my screen?
Right. Yes, sir. If you're just tuning in right now, we have Wynter Jones with us, the creator and the developer of BarnumPT, your personal superpower to build funnels inside of ClickFunnels, the new version. If you didn't know, it is built in directly inside. And we're going to get a hands-on, behind the scenes, bird's eye view from the man himself.
Like, yeah. Okay. Everything went away as soon as I. Okay. I'm still live, right? You can still see the screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So first thing you want to do is go to Chrome Web Store and go to BarnumPT, or just search into Google. It is available for Microsoft Edge as well. We did have it available for Firefox, but that became so much of a problem for me that I had to just axe it. And we'll come back to it later once the team has grown, or like I have more time to do it. But Firefox is just a whole different beast. And there was only 40 people using it. So we have almost 3,000 people over here. So it's been tested a lot. Like there's a lot of things that it does. So like there's let's say this, when ClickFunnels shifts, so does Barnum, and I have to update Barnum to accommodate for that shift. So if there's a UI change or something, so something will work today maybe, and then all of a sudden tomorrow something new is added, and I have to be just as quick to get on the ball. But with that out of the way, so add it to your Chrome, and then it's going to add it to your toolbar, and then you just pin it. So that way you have it in your toolbar like this, so that you can access the tools. There's only a few pages that are restricted. You probably won't see this message very often, but it's just a Google restriction for privacy reasons. When you open it, it's going to ask you to log in, first of all. And if you want, we're not too much of a pitch on this whole thing. But go to BarnumPT.com, watch this amazing video from Russell, done by Ray Kapersky, who's an amazing videographer guy. That's my wife, Alicia. She really did say that. So then you'll log in. You can create a free account, and then you'll pop open this, and it'll ask you to log in. And then once you're logged in, then you'll see the dashboard, the it's going to do a lot of things, and I'm going to first show off the page transfer and then just kind of like highlight some of the more generic things in terms of they're not ClickFunnels specific. They're just going to help you in general, and then we'll go back into the ClickFunnels things. And I will probably go off the rails a little bit, but I'll try to give you some tidbits on ClickFunnels that is only known through me. So if you click on apps here, editor apps, beta, you're welcome. I am the king of beta. Every time I say that, it feels like weird to say, but I could put beta labels on something and leave it there for like 10 years. Here's proof. Editor apps. So I did this, and I had this whole concept of like, how are we going to add on to ClickFunnels without breaking and doing all this stuff. It's like, okay, perfect editor apps, and then that happened, and then life happened, and then it's still here. So that exists, and I'm going to show you how BarnumPT solves this problem in 2.0, which is an amazing thing. Little bit of a hack. If you go to, for all the developers out there, anybody who's interested, on every single ClickFunnels Classic page, I made it so that I can identify what a ClickFunnels Classic page is immediately, and HTML ClickFunnels Classic I did have a comment that would be like a huge bar across the top, but people got mad at that, and I was like, who's checking the HTML? It even would say my name, but it doesn't say that. But
you want to leave your stamp on it, right?
Oh my god, I have some stories. I'm going to show you an Easter egg later, but I added an Easter egg to the ClickFunnels Classic homepage, and at one point, Todd messaged me. He's like, "Why are we loading up the Batman theme song on the sales page?" And I was like, "Oh, the code's wrong. It's not supposed to preload it." He's like, "Well, why is it there?" I was like, "Oh, if you press up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, Russell will come up, and the Batman song will play, and he'll be Batman's got, and it shows the light and everything." It's like, why is that on the page? Like, I thought it was funny, but nobody ever triggered it. But we paid to serve it. Okay, so you're inside ClickFunnels Classic, one of the best. You go to your preview page, and you could do this with any ClickFunnels Classic page as long as you have permission from somebody. So we have this toolbar. When you click on it, it's going to open up, and you have a lot of options and more potentially, and it can be overwhelming, and it's like over delivery is our thing, so you're going to like see a lot, and this process for a lot of people is very confusing, and we're trying to do the help center again, because I wish it was just like click a button, copy paste. It's just not that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to visit the page that we want to copy, open up the tool belt here, go down to save page as copy, click here, and then it's going to identify what the page is. It's either ClickFunnels Classic, Go High Level, we'll work on System, we have work on Elementor. And if you're an expert like in lead pages and you're like, hey, I have some time and you want to help me out, like the real thing is, the reason why we don't support more is because I have to become an expert in all of these things to actually do it well, and I'm not an expert. So, but I am an expert in ClickFunnels Classic. So we click on confirm, click on copy the page, and it's going to quickly go to the bottom of the page and then go back to the top. The only reason it does that is once it's trying to load up every single image on the page. So it does a little bit of song and dance. If it's a long page, you'll see it go down. And then it's going to give you some recommendations, which is really not too helpful, but it is kind of there to be like, hey, certain elements don't work, like the social share, the Facebook comments. We do support certain things that I'll show you how that works. So like, for instance, I'll jump back to it. Okay, so we copied the page, right? So now it's like gone. Where did it go? So people like, so confusing. So going over to ClickFunnels, what a lot of people will do is they'll go straight to the ClickFunnels, because you can access Barnum in multiple ways. So you can access Barnum here, there's a dashboard, then there's also the assistant here. So people will click here, and then they'll get a little bit annoyed, and then like, I can't paste my thing in, because that's actually just for building funnels. You actually have to go to the page, or just like any page, and then once you're in the page, ideally a blank page, then you have to click on the BarnumPT icon inside the editor. And once you do this, now you're going to access a whole bunch of new features that are different. And then you're going to go to your library. So you save that page to your library. So now you can use it multiple times. And it's the benefit here. Click on copied pages. It's going to load up what you've copied in the past. Some system pages that I've been trying here. And then we're going to click on import, and it's going to import that page onto the page that you have right on the screen in front of you. The danger here is that you could potentially overwrite something that you didn't actually want to overwrite. So like we have a page history feature and it didn't trigger, right? So like that's not fun. So I'm gonna put that on a to-do list. I was really hoping it would, but this is kind of like, if it's more like I'm trying to solve this. Like I have a page history and I have another backup thing that triggers if you make a change. It's just if we can collectively all go to whatever Facebook, ClickFunnels feedback and tell them to support version history, then my life would be so much easier, because then, and everyone's life would be easier, because then we can make a change on a ClickFunnels page and then go out of it and then go on. But that's the only danger right now, is that we've had a few cases where people have overwritten their pages and they did not want that to happen, and we had to escalate it. And we did get their pages back. It is possible, but it was not a comfortable experience for anyone involved. So now we have our ClickFunnels Classic page into ClickFunnels 2.0. And one thing we're going to notice is that this little element right here with Tom Ford, little Tom Ford over here. If we go to ClickFunnels Classic, this is a featured image element, and what this is just an image with some text, right? But ClickFunnels Classic, ClickFunnels 2.0 does not do that, right? There is no image featured image thing. So what we do is we turn it into a flex container on the fly. So it's just an image with the flex container, right? So I try to do that with as many elements as I can. Also, you're going to notice that a lot of like the inputs aren't the same design. Because you'll see like the icon, the border, the color, all these like subtle details, even on the buttons and stuff, is because fundamentally they're two separate systems. And when I did go full pixel perfect, what ended up happening is you couldn't edit the page very well. The editing became really cumbersome. And then it was like, okay, so we have to find this balance of, hey, did we get your page over? Yes. Cool. Is it perfect? No. Is there work to do? Yes. So at the end of the day, Barnum is 80 and you're 20. So 80% AI, 20% you have to do something. And almost every single case with BarnumPT, there's something you have to do afterwards, right? And here's a really good way that I like to tell people. And so here's a tidbit. ClickFunnels Classic is broken by default. It's your job to fix it. So if you take that concept, it's not a bad concept. The point is that the funnel isn't made for you. You have to put it together. The pages aren't done for you. You have to like write the copy. Like, so basically, but it's all the pieces are there. It's just you're taking it all and you're compiling it. It's, I say broken because it don't work until you fix it to make it work, right? So that's my fundamental philosophy on a lot of these things. So that's the page transfer. We're gonna go high level here.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to do that, but you could do it to go high level as well. Sorry. What's your question?
Okay. Now, when you're pasting these inside of the new ClickFunnels, there's a funnel and there are individual pages. And does this transfer tool work on all of the page types inside of ClickFunnels? Or is it just the funnels? Or is it just the funnels?
At the moment, it is just the funnels. So if we were to go to a site page, a landing page, so I did have it so that Barnum would show up here, and this is like from a thing, and then there was this weird issue. Let me see if it's okay. So yeah, it's definitely coming back. There was just one weird issue that I was like, oh, I have to remove it because it was there and I removed. Yeah, so it is coming back, but it won't be there for everything. I think. Let me see.
No, it's definitely not there because I was looking for it because I was building a local landing page for a roofing company that I work for, and I was thinking, hey, I just wrote all this copy for my fitness person. I want to do this for this roofing guy, so I don't have to write all this copy again. And I'm like, where's the BarnumPT at for me to do this? And
yeah, 100%. So I'll definitely add that. And I was just trying to see like what is like the way to do that. Like you'd have to like make it in the funnel, and then it would show up here, and then you'd have to clone it, and then you have two in there. It was more. It's ultimately just an oversight on my part because with ClickFunnels, it's easy to forget how massive it is. Like, so we have landing pages, site pages, funnel pages. I think blogs.
That's it, right? Yeah, blogs. Yeah, sites and blogs. and there's the funnels. The funnels are the where we were at when you actually pasted that the page in there, because it shows on this side the different steps of the funnels. But the landing pages are just individual pages. Okay, so that's good to know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
does
Yeah.
not it does not work there because I tried.
Yeah, it does not.
Yeah,
It does
right.
not, because the saving mechanism is slightly different. So I have to fix that. But so we got 2 things to fix so far. We're gonna find a lot, but but this is super valuable to me. Like, this is like I want it to work, and to work for the people who are it's for, right? And like, I don't know. When I did delete it, and I was like, oh, who's gonna actually do that? But then it's like, yeah, no, like, I'm forcing like weird ways to like get to things. And ideally, if you guys are like me, the purist or whatever, you don't want 2 pages in your account like that do the same thing. Like, ideally, it's all nice and clean. But with us, with when I say us, me and Russell, is like funnels, like funnels. Put that at the top. That's what I click on. Like, I almost forget that there's courses. I forget that there's anything else. So thank you very much for the reminder that
Yes.
there really is more to this than
Oh
funnels.
my gosh. Message hubs. Yeah, there's so much more inside of ClickFunnels now.
It's so big that you can almost not even use like you can almost just not use the editor at all. Like with ClickFunnels 2.0, you could just like put your leads in through some other WordPress, doesn't even matter. But there's all the powers in the back end, and then the editor's almost like it flipped from being like, this is just now like just helpful and like more or less fun, because like I've spent a lot of time in this new editor, like a lot. Oh, I also did a lot of these templates. Yeah, I did these templates. I don't know. There's a thing with templates. They seem fun when you first make them, and then over time, I become less excited about them because we need more, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you. That is an excellent example showing how to transfer funnels from classic to the new ClickFunnels. And I love the way you put it. It's about 80% of the transfer tool, but it will still require about 20% to go in there and get it exactly the way you want it. I think that's one of the I think that's an important feature that is valuable to most everyone out there. Now, let's dig into some of the other features and what you have coming new. Sora, AI. All right. I mean, now we're getting into it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give a little bit of an overview just on something, and then we'll jump into the more like up and coming stuff. So like when you do okay, I'm gonna show you a lot. So I'm gonna just do a really quick rapid fire thing, and I'm gonna high level a bunch of stuff just because I really want to show people how much there is inside BarnumPT. So if you go to BarnumPT, there's a full page screenshot. There's a viewport screenshot, which is just a visible thing. Take a screenshot of a section. So if you like something, like I personally love this website, so like this is a great section, like boom, just the way they have everything there. And now it's saved here, and then we're going to put all of our data into this thing, and this is locally. Well, the data used to be locally, now it's hosted. We host all the data for you, so that way if you go to a different computer, it's going to be there, but you're going to have it all inside of this dashboard. And then I'm going to go back here. We have a color picker. Anytime you need a color, you just go ahead and grab one. Then you go back to here, and then you'll have all your colors here, and you can put all your colors and your swipes and your screenshots into a folder. If you want to go a little bit more intense about your colors, you open up the color picker thing, and then you can move this around. You're going to get your hex, your RGBs, your shades. You have a little contrast checker right here. You always want to make sure that your contrast color is passing for small text, large text. It's not required, but hey, make sure people can read your website. Then we're going to measure something, which is more or less just because it's tool belt. You have to have a ruler. That's just really why it's there, because you have to have a ruler. But the inspector. So you go on a website, like let's go to Dan Kennedy. Let's go to something cool. Okay, so we're funnel hacker Dan Kennedy today, and then we're gonna open up our inspector here, and then we just want to see like what's going on with this button right here. Okay, so if we clicked on it, we could see that it's an A tag, which means it's an anchor, it's a link. We can see the padding here, so it's got 25 on each side, it's got 10 at the top, it's 700, and then we can start copying the font size, some of these things. And the reason why I have these ones specifically is because it's meant to be like copy this and go to ClickFunnels 2.0 to just copy those in. So I didn't include. So these are like flex things. But either way, and then you can check out like different parts of the page to just kind of like narrow in. You can grab the fonts, and then if you want to check out what colors are on the page, what fonts are on the page, and if anyone's a developer, they're probably looking at this. This is what the box model is right here, and they're probably like, well, that's cool, but like I have access to this all day. It's like, well, not everyone's a developer. So if we go inspect and then we do this, this is what developers get all day. They do this all day, and then they get the box model right here and all this stuff, but it's hidden inside the browser and no one looks at it. So I took that and made it available to basically everybody who's using this, right?
You gave it what's called a GUI.
Right. Yes.
Exactly. And that's what the same thing they did with Windows. That Windows revolutionized it because it gave it a graphic user interface.
My God, I was watching some documentaries on graphical user interface. The Alto, what is it? No, it is insane. When they first came out with the GUI, the concepts that they came up with are exactly the same as that we use today. Like drag an icon to a folder to here, and it's like what they defined it, and then we just stuck with it. No one innovated on it. Isn't it wild? But you're exactly right. A GUI to a lot of these. To this particular thing of being able to funnel hack, and then I'm gonna keep on going, okay?
Awesome,
but it's trying to just like rapid fire because there's so many things. So if your image you have to grab, so if this is good if you're like a client and you're their one website and you need to move it to their next website, right? So you just scrape all the images, click here and download it. And I did have it so it's saved, but then after a while I was like, wait, like we don't know who owns these images and whatever. You're transferring these images, so you're going to download them. That's what that is. A new snippet is just real quick if you like something, and then a snippet, and then you put it in there and then save it, and then you can access that, and I'll show you where you're going to access it. So think about this toolbar when you're outside the ClickFunnels editor and you're on the internet doing this, and you're grabbing screenshots, you're grabbing colors, you're grabbing whatever. You're doing it because you're going to go back into ClickFunnels at some point, right? And then you're going to have access to this stuff, okay? So it's not just for no reason. You can go to the responsive mode, which is kind of like, just a quick way to like check out some different views on your thing. And like, it's not the best, but again, that's all I'm doing is taking the inspect thing, what developers get, which is the better version right here, but this is what developers get. So I'm trying to like allow the average person or the funnel hacker to use the tools that I get to use. And then live drawing, if we like something about the page, we can draw on it. So we can be like, okay, it's got a little mustache now. And if we go down and we're like, we like this part about the page and we just want to describe that, and we can just mark up the page, right? Say I'm talking to a client, like we don't actually want that, but we do like that, right? And then I want to save this. I could save it. I can save it, and then when I come back to this page and then turn the live drawing back on, I should still have all of the things that I kept on the page. So that's just another way to like funnel hack. I got something to say for me on the page to just mark it up, right? So, and then editor apps, that's just a link to another thing. And then Barnum scripts, where that's the thing I told you about that I'm not going to get into. Barnum editor apps is the one fun thing. So what is Barnum apps is the thing from ClickFunnels Classic is whatever is the apps, the app idea, the editor thing. So you go to BarnumApps.com. There's just a way to view them. You can see I have this page sucks. I need to really let's not even look at this page. It's a bad page. I'm going to redesign that page, but you're going to see how that affects the actual page in a second. We could do a wireframe, which is like copying the page. So if do I still have it? Okay. So if we do a wireframe, then we're going to, every time it stops for a second, I get like a little bit panicked. Okay, and then we're gonna go to our wireframes, And then it's the same concept except for what your wireframes you can copy from any ClickFunnels Classic or Go High Level page, because it's going to get rid of all the text, it's going to get rid of all the images, it's going to get rid of everything except for the layout, and it's going to replace the text. So basically you're like, I want the structure of this page, but I don't want to unethically go through all of the problems that I need to remove everything. Well, that's what that does. And here's a fun stat. There's almost 20,000 pages transferred, and there's 300 wireframes made. That's a huge discrepancy. So no one's using this feature. Then
let me ask. And you said that you can go to any ClickFunnels page, even 2.0?
I want to. Do you think it's worth doing that? Because I really do think it is, and I want so that you could make a wireframe of ClickFunnels 2.0 pages. That's 100% doable and ethically allowed.
I would do that.
Wireframe. If you ask me, if you ask me, I think that the value in that would be the Russell's funnels. Actually,
hell yeah!
To be honest with you, right, Brandon?
Yeah.
To be honest,
that's great. I'll definitely add that, because that's the one thing. It's like, yeah, because we need to get 2.0 in the fold, and nobody's using the wireframe idea. Maybe like for a variety of reasons. But if it was a wireframe for 2.0, then you go to a 2.0 page, it's going to say restricted page, but then I can make it say, hey, you can grab a wireframe though. Go nuts, right? Like click here to grab the wireframe, and now you have the headline. And we're dealing with a ClickFunnels 2.0 page, so the 2.0 page, so we're going to get a lot closer to it. Whereas if you a lot of people with keen eyes are going to be like, oh, the things are different. It's like, yeah, they are. But if it was 2.0 to 2.0 with wireframe, then we're golden. So that is awesome. Heck yeah, guys. So,
and I think, oh yeah. You had said something, and I was thinking, absolutely. With the using Russell's funnels, I think he's got some great funnels out there, and I think that I look at them and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, monitoring the stats. Oh, see, like, oh my God, did I? Oh my Lord! No, it's because I'm gonna see. Sometimes I always forget him. I admit, or is everybody seeing this? And it's like, no, it's just me. Oh, thank God. Okay, so if you go, so now there's another place. So that what I'm gonna go through all of this stuff, and then because we haven't gone to all of it, and even at this point, most of the teams like, there's more. It's like, yes, there's more. So we're gonna access BarnumPT through this drop down, right? And that's going to give you all these access features. We're going to click here, and then we're going to access our folders, our swipe files. What is a swipe file? Well, holy crap, I forgot about swipe files. I wasn't prepared. We're going to come back to that. This is one of Russell's favorite features. And if you have any feedback on swipe files, let me know, because Russell wants it to be the best thing, and I want it to be the best thing.
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah. How many? Because I think you can add screenshots in there, and you can add other documents. Can you add other? And you could make. Can you share in swipe files? Because can you share?
Yeah, you can.
There it is.
Yeah, you can create, because like that. If you go, I'm pretty sure it's available to everybody. But Russell has literally had 250 of them, I think, and you just click a button and it immediately injects them all into your site. So I really should be leading with that. Hey, do you want to get 250 Russell swipe files from Russell? Go there, click a button, and boom! It's so much. Like,
what did you hit to share? What did you hit to share? Bless you.
I think I'm not sure. I think it was always there, because that was like the idea is that Russell's the whole thing.
There it is right there.
His to you.
There's the share. There's the share up there.
And you could share a category. So you could share a single one. So here's the only bug that is annoying to me, and Russell's pointed that too, and I think everyone who's using this would agree. So it's like, okay, I'll explain it. So we're gonna stick here at our swipe files. I was gonna totally bypass it. Okay, but we're gonna make a new swipe file. So we're gonna call it. This is a category. So the reason why we have categories is because we were like thinking like webinar, right? Or whatever. Webinar. Why didn't it create it? Okay. Oh my God. We're not going to get upset about issues, but we are going to catalog every single time it doesn't work. Okay. So imagine that worked. Like, by the way, guys, I get emotional. I'm not emotional about this, but I'm the only one doing this. Like, there is no one else on this. And there's no other designer. There's no other coder. everything you see in front of you with anything with Barnum is 100% me. So I have to fix every single thing. And so that was a bummer that didn't work. But we have a category. So imagine we called it webinar, and then inside that category, we're going to have multiple websites, right? And so we're going to have a funnel hack of BarnumPT/free, and then we open that up, and we're going to have multiple things like, what do I call them? I call them tabs, so that we can have the funnel, the advertisements, the emails, or really whatever you want. So like in my mind, emails, and then we're going to add things to these tabs. So we have to click on it. So the biggest annoyance that I got to fix is that issue, but this annoyance that it collapses the tabs constantly, which is making it so that you can't see it. We also have a new UI that we have an idea on how to, so this is going to get a lot of love. But so we could take a screenshot and we can move it up or down. We could delete it. We could add annotate if we like a certain part of it, and so we can add some a little bit of notes here. We can't give it a title and a description.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
So yeah, and then I like your reaction. It's very encouraging because I never know about these things. I'm like, Russell, is it cool? Like, you know, and I never know. And then you can add them into different tabs here, and then move the tabs up and down. There's a more that I want to do here, and I think the main annoyance here is like, you have to save. So we're gonna make it so it auto saves because it's really easy to forget that. And then here's the main annoyance: is like when I want to add a new screenshot, so you can add a new screenshot from your screenshots, or you can upload an image if you have a specific one, and then you're going to add an image, and then it's going to just close all of the tabs on you, which is just it added it at the bottom. It's just so it's a little bit of the UX issues, I guess, why I kind of tend to avoid it in my mind, because I'm like, oh, there's so much value here, but you know, that's what happens. I start ranting. So if you have feedback on that, definitely send it to me, because it is one of these things where it's like, there's so much love around swipe files, and like when you have a good swipe file, you want to keep it, and like, so like definitely love everyone who is
viral videos. Oh my gosh, I just
heck
yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, almost done. I apologize that if it's like seems like too much, but I just want to get the full scope out of it. So we're gonna continue on. So folders, swipe files, screenshots, color snippets, put all those together. You can organize them inside of a folder. Why would you want to do that? It's just to kind of like, in my mind, is more about like maybe a color palette, a client, just organization in general. Our copy pages exist here, so if we want to delete them, our wireframes, our offers. So now I think we've gotten through everything that the toolbar will give us, and then this screen.
Can I ask a question real quick? Snippets. I didn't see an example of a snippet, or maybe I missed it.
Yeah, no, I went because okay, yeah. So you can go to anywhere at any point in time and click here, and then add a new snippet. This is for Backstage Pass members only for this particular feature. There are some features that aren't, and when I say Backstage Pass is that's the premium version. It's $27 a month, and it's, if you are interested in any of this stuff, it's definitely wise to sign up now, because we are increasing that price, because we want to do way more AI stuff, and at that price it doesn't really allow us to do it. So it is increasing, and if you use it with your OpenAI key, that is eventually going away. But if you're using your own OpenAI key existing, we're not going to take that away from you, no matter what we do. So like Brandon said, he's using his own API key now, which is great, and it means you can pay for the charges. And then we do more things in the future, and we're just going to keep letting you use that. But it's unpredictable how much it's going to cost anybody. But anyway, so the snippet feature is you grab something. So let's just grab, we like this, and then we're going to go ahead and say Dan Kennedy, and we're going to save that snippet. And the idea is just so that we can have it. And I'm going to show you where that all comes into like actual usefulness, because like right now I saved it. I can go here, click open, go down to my snippets here, and I have some, and I can click here and then just like add it to a folder, start typing here. So like super simple, and since it's so simple, I was like, why not just throw it in behind the backstage pass, and then we're gonna use it. Okay, so we're just gonna skip straight to all of that, and we're gonna use it, and then we're gonna go to the last bit. Okay, so if we go back to the editor, and then let's just, for cleanliness sake, let's go to a new blank page, and then my favorite is just gibberish everywhere. And now we imagine we've got some colors, some screenshots, some snippets, and we're ready to go. Okay, so if we click our little Barnum character here, we have some options. We can create a new page. We can try these things out. We've looked at that. We have some templates if we want. We have some apps, and we have the tool belt. So the page history is gonna, every time you make a change on the page and save it, it's meant to save into the page history. I don't know why it's not doing that, but then you can revert back to it. Okay, so now let's go into we're going to go from bottom up. So now we have the tool belt, and I'm sorry to say, but this is also for backstage pass members. So everything that you saw up to that point isn't, like, you'll find out real quick when you use the software if you can or can't use these things. But I was like, okay, so you can grab all this inspiration from the web, but then to actually use it when you want to use it in the editor, I was like, okay, might as well make that premium. So we, inside the editor, we clicked here, we clicked on tool belt, and now we have it open. So it's already open. It says, and it exists here. So the idea is that you can do your stuff, but you still have this open. And then we have our folder, and inside our folders, we have our screenshots, colors, and swipes, right? So I'm just going to go over to my swipes here, and I click on the swipe, and then I can open up the swipe, and it's in a slightly different view, but we're open to feedback, and then say, like, I'm like, okay, it's this image. This is the screen. I'm hacking this. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like just, instead of constantly going back between the tab and whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it here, and then I can just look back at it and be like, open it up, and I'm like, okay, so like what, I'm funnel hacking at that point. I'm using the screenshot, but I'm putting it where it needs to be. In this example, it's a swipe. Same thing with here. I have a screenshot. I want to look at it more, but I still want to stay in the editor. I don't want to lose context of the editor. And then I'm in the editor, and I've grabbed some colors, and I need that color. So it doesn't matter. I don't need to demonstrate where to use it. But now I have my colors, and I can go ahead and click on copy a color and open it. Or okay, it copied and opened it. I gotta make sure that doesn't happen. But copy, and then I can use it, or I can open it, and then I can use an eyedropper on the page to just grab a color on the page. I get the shades of the colors. Then I can also, that's a different feature, never mind. But yeah, I can just get the color, and then I can save the color, and then I can just like have access to the colors inside of the editor. Same thing now with the snippets. Like, cool, I saved that snippet. Now I'm using it inside of the editor. Cool. Now I'm going to take that and whoops, I clicked on a bunch of things, and now I can use it. Now the whole idea of a snippet becomes kind of useful, right? So now we're going to take our tools. Now that's where things get a little bit more exciting. So let's get rid of that. So our tools, we're going to do a color picker, which we just seen, right? Which is one of these tools. And then we have a contrast checker. So if we did this is the best one. So if anyone, you're designing your web page or whatever, make sure that everything is readable, like first and foremost. So we can do that in a variety of ways. Let's just check out, is this going to be readable? It's a gradient. So we're going to grab the background, and we're going to grab the font color, and we're going to see it's a big fat fail. So it looks like it would pass. Like I look at that and go, like, that would pass all day, but no, it doesn't. So we can take it and we can make it darker, and then that doesn't look good, but we got a pass and a pass. And we have a large text pass and a small text pass. So if this is considered probably large text, so you can almost ignore the small text and go like straight to the line. And like, that's going to be overall a better, higher contrast for majority of your viewers. So that's why contrast checkers are important. Box shadow. We're going to click on box shadow, and like one of the fun things is it's going to feel like it's going to replace what already exists. So, but yes, we have a shadow inside of ClickFunnels already, but we do not have the ability to do multiple shadows. And what does that mean? So there's a whole bunch of presets here. But what is a shadow? So we add 2 shadows. So we're going to add a shadow. We're going to move it out to the side. We have a preview right here. It's a long demo, guys. And then we can do another one or clone it. But the reason why we do multiple is because to do a shadow and to do it like really nice and like the way the pros do it and who really think of it. It's sometimes 7, 8, 9 different shadows to make it really stand out. Okay, so now that we got this cool little editor, and we want to apply it to that image. So we're gonna click on select, and then we're gonna go and why did that happen? Okay, the toolbar was open. The toolbar was open. I literally fixed this bug today, but no. So I'm gonna click on the page. Oh my god! That demo totally failed. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next demo. Okay, so we're gonna need a grid. Some people like grids. You put a grid over the page, and this is something that with the theme is I'm allowing all the things that web designers do so that you guys can use it, or anybody can use it if we want to do it as a grid. We can do it as a line, and then we can do this, and we can add the amount of columns, right? So like you'll get it, and it will line up to like hopefully to where you want it, so you can start to have a grid, and you can just basically leave that there and do it different opacities. So that's another tool we got. We have the image optimizer. So this works locally. So if you throwing images into ClickFunnels, just throw them through this first. It works through your computer, so it'll just take a big image and make it small, and then it will even upload it to your account, I'm pretty sure, because I figured out all kinds of hacks. Okay, and then we have an icon picker. You're gonna be like, well, what kind of icon picker is this one? This one's completely different because it's SVGs, and there's hundreds of them, and it's not the Font Awesome library that you have inside of ClickFunnels by default, so you just have more icons. Media mask. This one's pretty awesome. So if you want to take this image and like hopefully this demo works, we could take any image and we can apply a mask on top of it. And this is where things get a little bit more fun. So we can do the same thing with a video, but what is a mask on top of an image? What is that looking like? So we could take a shape, or we could take hopefully we have one here.
Play button.
Well, this right here. So this black. So what we're going to do, and hopefully, okay, so we're going to do this image here and then apply it. The preview didn't work, but I'm just going to hope that it wants. So if you don't know what an image mask is, hopefully it's going to work, but I'm not confident now all of a sudden. Yeah. Here, this is what happens. This is when you get into a problem, you click here and then you go, that is the problem. It failed to apply the CSS, and then we have more work to do tonight. So we're just going to keep on going through the things, and the image is gone.
Nice.
Yeah, but like, oh my gosh. Okay, so the image is gone, but you know what? Maybe it was never there in the first place. So media mask, there are certain things that like. So here I'll just what it is it's a part of this. You could do this for videos, images, and like whatever. But the idea is you're putting it over top of the image, and where it becomes even more interesting. Hopefully, it will just do it. Oh, the preview. But you can imagine that where the black is where the video is, right? So like it's a really cheap effect once it works to do something
I
cool.
Understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
100%. Okay, and then CSS grabber. This one's hardcore, and we're just, but I'll just show you like this one. It's for the nerds. Okay, I don't know why that issue is happening where it's selecting the whole page, but if you wanted to figure out what is the actual CSS for a button or a link or whatever, you click on the element once it lets you, then it will give you all of the CSS, and you can use it as structure or the actual thing. So that's more for the hardcore people. And then text effects. This one will work. I literally tried this one already. I mean, obviously I tried them all, everybody. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this headline, we're gonna apply some gradient to that text. So and it's the same principle as like the text or the clipping of the images, but we're clipping on top of text this time. We can change the angle, and we can apply it to the only bold. So if you wanted just the bold to be the gradient or the whole thing, an image. Oh, if you wanted to put like an image, like some fire in the background. So now it's working. So it's going to allow me to select certain elements that I should be able to select. So select an element on the page, select the text that you want. So select that. And now that is selected, now we can apply the CSS. And then what this is this is a tool about thing where I'm like, how could I add features on top of ClickFunnels? And it didn't work because oh my god, I am like the jolliest guy. Like it's same problem. Okay, we could fix this right now, but we're not going to. We're just gonna imagine that me talking for 30 minutes for a demo that doesn't work is that it does. Okay, so that's what the tool belt is, right? So the tools are bonus. These are just like a bonus. They're not really like, they're a bonus. And then we're gonna go to apps. Okay, and now this is where I'm gonna go I'm not gonna go hardcore in this video because I've obviously been hardcore, but this is where a lot of my attention is going to go in the future. And so what is an app? Is it's an addition, it's an element. You can almost think of it as something that you could add to the page, right? Like, so Facebook comments, TikTok embed, and then we can go over to like something more interesting, like a section background slideshow, same page submit, auto updating, age, store hours, all kinds of little ideas. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one and we'll apply it to the page. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to make that, and I'm just going to make this guy bold, save that. So we're going to apply a typewriter effect to this headline. So we're going to go and it's right there, but we could just search typewriter. Okay. So we open them up and they all have a summary and setup instructions, and then the difficulty on what I think, if it's difficult or not, and then the footer, and then a little thing about how to edit if you want to, and then screenshots and a video. Hopefully, I try to make a video for every single one, but now we have this concept. This is the concept on how to apply editor apps to your ClickFunnels page. For this one, it's going to say, hey, select a text element. So we're going to do that. I'm going to find the element that we want, and it's going to have this like thing that I'm injecting on top that says select this headline. Okay, now that we have that headline, it's that ID. You can give it an ID, but you can just assume that that's the class that it's going. And now the words that we want it to go through, the best way to do is have the first word that's already there, so that, and then like wonderful, and then whatever, and then the amount of speed, the delete, and then whatever, and we want to apply it to the bold tag, and then it all goes well, it's going to install that code onto the page, and then it's going to reload the page, and everyone's is going to get a little every app gets a little piece of text at the end that says preview it to what to do next, because I was like, hey, you did that, you click close, now what? It's like, you test it out, make sure that it worked. Now we've gotten the writing typewriter effect on the page, and what that did is it added the code to your footer here, so that it wrote the code, so you can see bar map, typewriter effect, it turns any things, and then how to edit. So I try to write all the code in the same way, so that every piece of code that gets injected onto the page is like, so you could almost edit it from here if you really wanted to, but like, it's hard to do. I mean, it's code, and then say it didn't work, and you're like, I don't know, did it not work because Barnum didn't work, or is it didn't work for a different reason? Because it could also not work for a different reason. So I added a scan button. So what it's going to do is it's going to scan the code on the page, and it found out that, hey, you have a typewriter effect on the page. So this, you can either edit it, which is editing, it's like a lie. It's like, hey, go to ChatGPT, because due to the complex nature of this, like, I can't really pull that back into the system, because you could change it at any point, and so, but you can delete it, and you can copy the code to give it to ChatGPT. So like, if you wanted to go from this moment forward and be like, it needs to do something else, I would recommend copying that code, giving it to ChatGPT, asking it for it, blah blah blah. There is a way that Barnum can help you do that, which I'll show you. But this is scanning the apps is mostly just to see if you have duplicates, something on the page that it didn't work out for you, and you just want to change it, right? Okay, so there's apps like that where it could put code on your page, but the code exists in your footer. Whereas then there's the opposite of that. Well, I don't know if it's the opposite, but there's a different way of where you put something on the page where you want it to be, and we do that through the custom HTML thing. So for instance, like TikTok, it's like, okay, you could go to a TikTok page right now and copy the embed code, which is easy to do. Let's just grab that. We're going to select that, and we're going to select the code that we want. So now that it knows that this is where it's going to inject the code to, let me see if I just have a URL. Do I have a TikTok? Dang it. Let me see. TikTok. Dang it, I don't. But so I was just going to demo that. That would stick. We'll do a different one that doesn't require an embed code. It's the same idea. Intense ones, cloudinary. There's some really intense ones. And then there's simple ones.
What's that weather one? What's that weather one?
Yeah, it's crap, but yeah. Well, no, okay. Let's do it. It's a bad design. It's just a bad design. Here's a better one. So before and after slider. Okay, so this one's more relevant and like it's useful. Whereas the weather one, it's emojis and it's not that useful. But okay. So we're gonna want a before and after slider, and a before and after slider is some setup, blah 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 blah. I know I'm like really hard to like understand, but what is it? That's what a before and after slider is. It's like before after slide between the two things. So you install this, and we want to install it where we want it, right? So we click select element, we click here. Alternatively, you could just put your ID here, click update, put it in there, but like that was the first way I did it, and like every single time I'd have to tell them to put in an ID. That's ridiculous. Okay, so now we did that. That's a little bit magical, which is a little bit fun. And now we need the before image and the after image. And then when I click on this image, I kind of already showed this off, but it's grabbing the images from your library. How it's doing that is a little sneaky on my part, but it works and it's amazing. So when I figured out that, I was like so happy. So what we're gonna need is we're gonna need two images that are the same width and height. So I think that's gonna be the same width and height. So we're gonna need the after image. Nope, not the same width. So we're gonna get rid of that. It doesn't have to be, but for the okay, it doesn't have to be. You know what we're gonna do? Just because I'm a little bit worried that like something's gonna go awry, so we're gonna use the same image for before and after. Guess what? It's the same lady.
Why don't you just use like a dude and the chick in the circles? Just use the dude and the chick in the circles.
We can put it before and after images from our library. We can choose the handle color, the handle thickness, the border, and like this is where it becomes like a vertical, horizontal, shadow, and then icon or not. And this is where it becomes the editing experience. Like there's a disconnect, and like there's nothing I can really do about it. And like I would love if it was better, but like ideally you'd want to know what is the shadow going to look like. What is this going to look like? Well, unfortunately, we just kind of have to like learn, like we have to feel it out. Okay, so what that means, we have to put it on the page. So we got that. Everything should be good. We're going to install this onto the page, and then it's going to. It reads the page, reloads the page, it injected the code into our custom box. It lost connection there and then had to reconnect, and then that's why it took a second. And now that it says, hey, awesome, you can now display the before and after of any two images. To make changes, please check the code and edit the options, misconfiguration, blah, blah, blah. We put this down. I like to just go and preview the page to see if it even worked. So we have we have the bar, but obviously we can't tell that it's working, but we do know it's working because it's there.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then we can click on here, and then we can open up the code, and then we're like before, we're gonna have like the comment, and it's all structured in the same way. But then from here is where you'd be like, okay, actually, I do want it to be black. Like this is more hardcore, and I do get that, but so. If you want to make quick little updates in the code, but now you're a coder, and that's kind of lame. Who wants to be a coder when they grow up? Nobody. So now I've turned it to a border that's black and made it horizontal, right? Vertical. So now I'm not going to do it, but you can. So you can, if it's the codes inside your footer here, which gets a bit more difficult, especially if you have a ton of code to like get to the first and the end of it. But you can copy this, give it to ChatGPT, ask it to do whatever the heck you want to it, and then paste it back. You can, if it's inside of a custom JavaScript thing, click here and ask BarnumPT for the code. It can read what's in there, and you can say, hey, make my slider, don't change, like you might have to say, don't drastically change it, but only update this or this, and it should do a good job. Also, if you're feeling spicy, you could just do your own and say from blank, make me a before after slider, and then it's going to try, and then you're going to preview it, and then you're going to come back to it, and then you're like vibe coding at that point, and then you're going to click here and be like, it didn't work, it like do this, do that, make my screen blurry. So I'm spotting so many issues, but I love it because it just gives me something to do. So bar maps, that's the concept of it. A lot of them, an intense one is this one. I'm not going to show it, but you put an image and a button, So you select a button, you select an image, you add your Cloudinary name, and then your custom type. And what you're doing there is you're allowing the user to upload an image, and then that image gets uploaded to Cloudinary, and then that URL gets sent to or added to the HTML form or whatever, and then that's saved in your ClickFunnels. Like that's a more hardcore thing, and you could do the same thing with like file stack, but that comes from people like the question of like, how do I get my images into ClickFunnels? Very bespoke thing, but here's one thing that's like more hardcore also. Same page submit. So what this app does is it allows you to save the form without going to the next step or redirecting anywhere. So what you do is you would click on the button that you'd want. So it's going to overwrite this button. At the end action, you can either show the pop-up, show or hide something, and you have to use the IDs. I'm going to add the selector there, but for now it's just IDs, or custom, which is like your own thing. But what a lot of people are doing here is like showing and hiding. Is so you add this, and then once you click submit, then it just shows, hey, thank you so much, right? It's like it's an anti-funnel. It's not a funnel, but like but the beautiful thing about that is if you're curious, I'm gonna do this real quick, and then this is the last part of the demo
you
of this.
you submit it, and basically you're on the same page, but it just says thank you.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just removes the button, and then it removes the button and says thank you, but the page has been submitted.
Yeah,
Got it.
100%. Yeah.
Got it.
So show me, hide me. Like we're not gonna do like a complete demo to make sure, and then I have to input. I just want to show you the code for anyone who's viewing, because a lot of people will come and like how do I do this? How do I do this? And like that's the alternate benefit of this is like, hey, if you're more inclined, then add the code to your page, and then come and look and like same page submit. Like, well, how am I actually doing this? And like this answers a lot of questions a lot of people ask me, and like it's like, look at this is all complicated code stuff, but then once you start to realize like, oh, you're doing this way, that way, okay, so if you're doing it this way, that way, then that means something over here is possible, and then they're off the races. So that's Barnum apps. With 30 of them or 26 of them, we have a whole bunch more if you want to add that in there, and we're so very close to being done. The last thing is go to app.BarnumPT, which is you're going to see this screen. You go to install your backspace pass for affiliates. If you want, you put your affiliate links in here for BarnumPT, for ClickFunnels, and One Funnel Away. And what that's going to do is anyone that you send to ClickFunnels, to Barnum, it's going to have your affiliate ID for these ads. So those will appear at any time it says BarnumPT upgrade anywhere. It's going to have your affiliate ID in there. And to take it up another level, because we really want the affiliates to be number one, is you can upload an image and a URL and say that you're going to be a good person about it, and then everyone you send your ad's going to be above our ad. So it's going to show your ad in this sidebar above ours, because really we want to be, so it's like the Trojan horse things. Like if you're going to promote this, we do want it to benefit you. So imagine you promoted this and you have your ad there, so whatever it is, and then now you have maybe 100 people, 1,000 people signed up for you, and you're like, I want to communicate with them. How could you do that? Well, BarnumPT for affiliates allows you to create a notification, and the notification will appear here. So when your affiliate is using BarnumPT and then you have something to say to them, if they click on this, it's going to wait 1 second, and then it's going to pop up this notification, and then the user is going to see, hey, you're receiving this message because of this reason. Click the link or hide it forever. So there's like the users who's the affiliate, the non-affiliate can say, I don't like this experience, never show me this again, or the people who are into the idea. So we have your own custom ads and your own way to send a notification to everybody. For the affiliates, you have to be BarnumPT Backstage Pass member to do that. If you're really confused and you really don't know, and this is your first time ever using a funnel hacking of any sort, what you can do is you can go and use a funnel blueprint, and this is the first and only time that you can talk to BarnumPT. You go here, you say, describe your funnel, and say like whatever you want to say about it. Okay, I need a funnel. And then we're going to start the chat. and then it's gonna start talking to BarnumPT, hopefully, like and then you need a funnel, awesome. And the reason why I did is because people going from one funnel away and then into Barnum and then into funnel hacking, and then a lot of people don't know what to do. They're like, "What? I don't have the funnel." So go here, start talking about it, and he's gonna constantly encourage you. What should I do? To get to the point and like come out with it and be like, okay, well, we need these things and we need these things and then we need these things. Okay. And then once he's gotten these things out of you, like right now, he's like, is it a book, funnel, webinar? What do you want? And then once he's got these things out of you, then you click generate. And then we're going to go to another one here and then just view the outline. And then when you click generate, it's going to generate this for you. It's going to give you like a main headline. It's going to give you a goal, audience, problem, solution, and you can edit this. And it will save. And it's going to give you the funnel outline, the opt-in, thank you, sales, upsell, downsell. I'll give you the color. Oh my God, we haven't even touched style guides. It's insanity the amount of stuff it
Oh
says
my
out.
God.
It's give you the style guide, the funnel steps, your goal of that page. Your goal for this page is to capture leads and offer the 5-day free mini course. The sections, you're going to have a header, headline, body section, CTA, footer. That's your opt-in page. Boom. Your thank you page. It's the header, headline, body section, boom. And then all the way down through your whole funnel, and then you can copy the prompt. You take this prompt and give it to BarnumPT in here, click here, create a new page, paste it in here, you're off to the races. It's not going to be the best design because I'm going to show you why that is. BarnumPT, click here. You can do sections. You can pick a section, and this is all the sections that BarnumPT has access to, and all of these sections are all described. So they're very simple, but BarnumPT knows that that's a paragraph on top of a text on top of an image, and the reason why you're doing that, and blah, blah, blah. There's all this description. So you click this, and you can add to the page as is, or you click this, go over here and write in a prompt that's going to fill in that. So if you look at these, then you'll start to understand how BarnumPT is like coming up with its pages here.
Will it code a slider like in the prompt says, I want a review section, but it has to be a slider?
You can't. You'd have to do this. Like you'd have to add one of these things and then specifically ask it for the code. But in every other instance, it does not is not going to write code for you. That's very like nuanced thing to like know.
That's all I want, man. I've been asking for a slider forever, and they make the notes. They make the notes that they'll put it down, and I know Dan Havey does all the sliders.
Yeah, he's got his
ninja hacks.
Like I'm like at the end of the day, like I do have there's 100 different sorry guys. There's 100 different sliders. There's one by Slick Slider here. And it's not like the greatest design or anything, like, but you can customize it and it's very simple. But like I don't want to and you can add ultimately, but like at the end of the day, from my position, is like if ClickFunnels came up tomorrow and said, guess what, we have before and after slider, I'm gonna happily delete this or keep it there. But like ultimately I want to, like the same thing with the audience is like if we could just like close this and then click here and then everything that I ever wanted was here, like 100%. So like I want an image slider here. I want all of that, so like part of it is to be like to get ClickFunnels to do it too, but there's that balance. But just I say that to say that I'm 100% on the side of like just give me the slider. So copy those prompts, copy the funnel prompts. We haven't even done the thing, but we're not going to show that stuff. And then that's to help you talk to it, get your funnel outline, put those into things. Then last thing, and we're going to be fully done, style guides. So if you don't know, in ClickFunnels 2.0 has style guides, and this really should be the first thing you do if you're serious about it in terms of like you're going to be making a lot of pages or your funnel. Because if you figure that out sooner, then it's just going to make your life a lot easier with this. So imagine the simplest way to do this is like you define a button once, and every single time you do that button, it's going to be the same throughout your funnel or any of your websites. And then you change that button to be blue, and now it's changed throughout out everywhere, right? And so with ClickFunnels Classic, all of us people, we want to redo every single button just because of our pattern of doing it, but this is the way to do it. With BarnumPT installed, you're going to get a lot of extra stuff happening inside of the style guide that is not native. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to preview of your style guide in the corner here. You're going to see the colors, you're going to see your buttons and your text, and you're going to be able to generate a new style guide by asking BarnumPT for it, and you can change it between monochromatic, complementary. Here's some examples on like how intense you can get about it, or how not intense. I did have more options in there about type scale, but I don't know how intense things. So it uses a default type scale, and then when you click on colors, it's going to add labels to your colors. This is because the way that when you generate it, it's trying to give you order inside of chaos. So I really strongly recommend that you use those values for everything you do, so that when you start going through all of this, it all starts to make sense, because it's really, really, really easy to just not make sense in this case. So that's why those labels are there, to just give some order. We have the preview, and then if we up in the top right here, we have the default option in sales. We click on that, we can see a version of what your sales page might look like, and then we can click on these things to see the different styles of the different buttons and the different secondary and the different combinations of colors that you can do. So for the backgrounds, right? So that just a real quick high level. Am I even digging this? No, not really. Well, let's try some like maybe a darker green. And then let's go over here, whatever. Okay, yeah, a little bit better, maybe. No, we're going pink, and now I could start designing my sales page or my style guide inside of here without going to it. And then you save this, and then it's going to update everywhere. And I'm sure there's more things, but let's just stop sharing the screen and shop. Okay, I did it. Oh my god, I started to feel real bad for you guys.
No, it was all good, man. It's good to get a rundown, because I may have to resubscribe for some of those tools.
Heck yeah. There's more coming.
I was on the beta, and then I just never used it. So
no worries.
That was excellent. It was just I know we needed to start doing that demo a little bit earlier, though.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. I do have something that's completely unrelated. Do you see my screen? Let's just end it with some fun here, guys. I know everyone left, but this is one of the funnest things that I've been doing. Where we got, so that's me and Barnum. I stick me and Barnum. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay, we got Barnum here. So I've taken Barnum and I've added him in every possible way. So this is for the help center. And how I'm doing that is I'm using Sora, and I'm adding my character in there, and then the prompt, and I'm using this for the help center for all the help articles that I'm writing to try and like explain the concepts. And I love it. So like if you're not using Sora, like it is unreal. Like I have to constantly, I forget to do it, but I have to tell him like, hey, make him do something else with his hat, because he's always doing that with his hat. But so he's got no hat over here. This is awesome. I love this. Is you take the BarnumPT character, you take photos, and you ask it to make, and then you get Barnum. You become. If anyone wants to become Barnum, just send me a photo, and I'll make that happen for you, because it is so awesome. This is insane. This is true. I didn't think this was going to work, but it actually works. So I took the character, a button, and then the background thing, and I said, okay, put these all together, and I want it to be a graphic that's the footer graphic, and it did everything. This is transparent, by the way. This is a transparent graphic. So all I had to do is just copy and paste this, and I got the character, the thing, and I asked for some green, and the text is perfect. Well, relatively, it's a little bit cut off here or whatever, but like that's unreal. I'm not sure if I have anything more fun over here. I was basically sticking me and Barnum with all kinds of ones. So there's me and Barnum inside of a thing. There's one
James that says, pick me. I want to be Barnum-tized.
Oh, nice. Yes. Awesome. I'll give you a bar. Oh, so like for icons, like basically it right now, Sora and ChatGPT with this new thing, you could take your funnel and make it so much greater. Like it's truly like you ask for the background images, all that fun stuff. ClickFunnels, some money coming out of it, maybe just a Barnum coming out. I got some. Oh, it's gone now. But it's just more pictures of me and Barnum. Yeah, awesome. I was gonna show you this one that I love. It's where it's Barnum's on the screen, and then I'm at the computer, and then it switches over to Barnum's at the computer, and I'm not at the computer. It's like that's really what I'm trying to do. Is like be like, hey, computers should be for computer people, like AI should be doing the computer thing, and what are we doing as humans now? That's the question.
Awesome. Well, if you stuck in there with us this time, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, so
Yeah,
we're gonna
crazy.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's man, been an absolute pleasure having you on, Wynter. We'll have to have you on again to go through some more, but for now, we've got to say goodbye. All right.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure, man. Awesome.
All right. Check out in the comments for all details to get that BarnumPT going. Take it easy. See you next week.
All right, take care.